Hi, welcome to Main Street Gardener. Today is a fun day. I just received 2 boxes of plants. These are from an Amazon vendor. I will include the link in the description of the video on my Amazon link, but I was so pleased with the delivery, the freshness. They have a card here for customer service, someone that you can email if you have issues. So there's also a plant care app and all the details. I decided to order these small starter plugs, one so I could get a variety. I also really love growing houseplants, and I didn't have any right now in my dining room window ledges, so I wanted to freshen those up. And I thought this was a really economical way to do it. I think the entire box of 12 starter plants was around $30. Also, when you get these small plugs like this, they are very less likely to have any type of disease or fungus gnats because they've only been in the greenhouse for a short time. So I'm hopeful that I get to start them fresh. Often when you get large houseplants from big box stores, they already have fungus gnats or other issues that they've gotten from other plants, and I just have not enjoyed that when I brought them in. Now, I did receive these on a very cold, frigid day, and they sat outside for longer than I would have liked. But all but 2 look really great. I have 2 that I'm going to have to trim, and hopefully with a little TLC are going to bounce back. So I love they're packaged in all of this cellophane, really secure. There's really been no damage to the petals and leaves. So this is going to make it really fun to plant up. So I'm just going to kind of get them out of their box, let them start warming up. Now the second box is another surprise from the same company, and this is a box of little succulents. Now this packaging is very different, but I love that this is all recyclable cardboard components that are on top, and the succulents are packed in here super tight, and they look amazing. Really happy. So if you're ever looking for tiny small succulents that you can get started with or to use for a table arrangement, a party, anything at all, this would be a great resource. This was just their standard box, and I like the variety, the colors. I think it's going to be really nice. I have a planned container for these and can't wait to see them grow. So if you are looking for an inexpensive way to add some fresh houseplants or succulents, I would encourage looking on Amazon. I also definitely support my local nurseries, and I do buy larger plants from them. Not necessarily the big box stores, but I do visit and love some of our local nurseries. So I don't always use Amazon, but for this purpose, I think it was a really economical choice and a great way to get started with some fresh plants. So I'm going to just continue unboxing, and then we will jump into the kitchen where I'm going to start planting some of these up. Okay, so here's all the plants in this tray. I love this metal tray because I can bottom water. And now I'm in my kitchen. Here is the list of plants that's on the Amazon site in case you're curious about what type of plants are included. I think it is a nice variety. They have several options, so be sure to check it out. Most of them are begonias. There's some ferns, some wandering Jew, pink plant, which that one did get damaged. We had a big cold storm that came through after I'd ordered them, but I think once I trim it back, it's still a very healthy plant. So just a great variety. I'm actually going to mix these together. Now I'm going to plant the succulents on another day. Just had them in here so I could bottom water them. But I have these containers that I've used for house plants, and I have a couple of them. So I'm just going to mix them. I think it'll be really pretty. As they grow, I can put them in their own containers, but to get started, I am going to mix and match them in here. All right, so the other supplies I have today is I love to use the 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐿 potting mix. So we're going to start with that. And I'm not going to add any fertilizer today. Probably in a couple weeks, I will give them a good dose of the 𝐂𝐿𝐴, just basic grow fertilizer. And I am going to trim some of them back today where they've got some damage.
But otherwise, it's going to be a pretty easy, simple project. So let's get started. All right, there we go. Now I like to pre-moisten my soil just a little bit. That way all of it starts off a little bit wet, and then we'll go from there. So I've got, this is my mist sprayer. It is a USB charge. You can charge it right here. I'll put the link to it in my Amazon page, and I love it because you just charge it up. It's got mist, and then you can also just kind of soak. So I'm just going to do it very lightly, not as much as I would if I was seed starting. Now, the other thing that I'm going to use today is the systemic houseplant insect control. I'm going to sprinkle this on top when I'm finished. It does work for up to 8 weeks, and it just helps if there's aphids, whiteflies, mealybugs. I doubt there's anything in here, but you never know, and I just don't like to get those fungus gnats. So we're going to add this on top. I found it works really well. All right, so for this first one, I'm just going to mix all this up. Just dampening this a little bit really helps. When I do seed starting, I like to get the soil really wet, but today I'm just going to do it a little bit. So I'd love to know what houseplants you have or what you like about houseplants. I have had so many over the years. I only have a couple right now, and I actually have some that if we have time today, I'd like to repot. So we'll see if we can get to that. All right, so I'm going to fill this with soil. And since these are so tiny, I'm actually going to go probably all the way to the top. And then we'll start putting our plants in. Okay, for this first one, I don't think it really matters. I think in this smaller container, I'll start with one of these. I also love they had it packaged so neatly. Now this one is broken on the end, so we're just going to snip that off. That probably would root if I wanted it to. And just inspect it, but you can see all the gorgeous roots. And I'm just going to sit this one, kind of plop it right in there. These plants are going to love being in all this space and air, and I think it's going to be really pretty. Now what I want to do is mix my colors and texture. So I think next I will just keep in order. This is a new plant to me, and I know I saw the name of it. It's something nerve. If you're familiar with it, let me know. It has such beautiful colors. And then I think I'll just add a third one to here. That way these guys have got plenty of room to grow. And I think for that, let me try this. I think this is a Pelargonia. Probably not, I'm not saying that right. Let's try to just pop this one in. This one has great roots. Just love these little containers. I'll definitely be saving these to use for maybe seed starting. And this project, if you order one of these, it just took one small bag of the dirt. Let's see. The bag is the 8 dry quart bag. So if you wanted to order a set of the 12 plants, they do come in these little containers, then you would need one small bag. So it's just the 8 dry quart of the potting soil if you don't have any handy. So that makes it nice. It's an easy project, and I was able to use 3 containers. So let's go ahead and get this one finished. Now, I do like to, for indoor plants, add some rocks on top. I will have to get some of those at the garden center next time I'm out, but I just think it helps. It helps with moisture retention, and it just looks nice. I've also used moss before, so I may check out in my floral studio to see if I have any moss left. Now, I'm going to pack this one pretty tight because a couple of the plants did get some cold damage. Also, this wandering Jew I know is going to take off, and I will have to transplant that. I like to use it outdoors, so this may be one that gets put in a summer outdoor arrangement, which would be great. Okay, so this was the little damaged guy. He just really suffered in the cold, but I am just going to go ahead and cut it all the way back. There are still good roots. Let's see. And I'm just going to give it a chance to see if it will perk back up. It's been inside for a couple days, but we'll get it in some nice warm dirt and see what happens. I made the mistake of ordering these and then I wasn't home. They came early. So if you're going to order houseplants like this and you're in a cold area, just make sure you order when you know you'll be there to get the plants. Now, this is one of those, I love these, the pink trim. It also got a little cold damage. So I am just going to take it, and I think it's this whole middle section. Just going to cut that out. And maybe this center section, but I think the rest of it, this one's got some frost damage. Yeah, leave it like that. And I think this one will be okay. I'm not sure about that other one. And then last is this little fern. So cute. I did look this one up. I don't think it's cat or dog safe. It's a little like asparagus fern, but it's going to be out of where my dogs go. And this is also one that I may use outside in the summer. So we're going to just go ahead and fill this one in right here. Now, sometimes when you first pot up something, just like an outdoor plant, it can settle. So while I've got this extra soil, I'm just going to pop some around the corners. I like mine to be full, so I'm just kind of checking those areas. Now, I do think for this container, I'm going to definitely get some moss or some rocks, and that will just help it. So this one is kind of going to be in the plant hospital. We'll see how these do. These were the ones that struggled the most with the transport. So I'm going to get this one all cleaned up.
So here's the finished product. I have the containers now placed in my dining room windows. I have a deep ledge on the windows inside the dining room and actually the living room, and we get really nice light here. It's not too strong, but it's just enough that I find houseplants do really well. Now, I did sprinkle some of the bug preventer, so you'll see some of that on the leaves. And that center plant, I didn't talk about that. That's actually a cutting from a summer plant that I rooted in. So there they are. didn't have the best light when I was shooting this, but I think you get an idea. I just love these blue containers. If you're ever looking for them, I find them at Home Goods a lot, and they're not very expensive. And usually they have the plugs in them. So here's the rehab container. I think most of the plants are going to do great. We'll see if the two that were struggling that I had to trim back, if they bounce back. But I just love this little turquoise pop of color in the dining room. And I hope that this gets really full and big. I will give you an update in a month or so. Here's the full view of both windows. I have a large houseplant that I've had for quite a while that sits in this center space. It does really, really well. I have some more houseplants to repot. I'll probably show you that in another video. But now it's time for all the cleanup. Since I had to do this inside, it is so cold, and it was just the best spot to do it. It's a full excuse to clean up, mop the floors, all those good things. So take care, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.